moment as we set up the stream and we can get started. Okay. We've had some interesting situations yesterday in our stream, which we want to try to avoid. And that's why I am going to be muting everybody until we get to the Q&As. Is that good? Okay.
You
So
can raise hand, right, for
yeah,
questions, and yeah,
if you
or
have
send the questions. Yeah.
if you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand or put it in the chat box and we will get to it. Does that help? Okay. All right. Thumbs up. Awesome. Awesome. So, welcome, Dr. A, to our very first show with you. Really, really excited to have you here with us to guide newcomers, to guide job seekers to find their value proposition. So, uh, as as almost all of you know, that Dr. A, as we fondly like to call him, is our Destination CEO mentor. And today he has taken the time to, on this beautiful Sunday afternoon in Toronto, to come in and share some thoughts of his and expertise. We will continue, we will have Dr. A till 1:40, and then we are going to go into the orientation for Destination CEO's program. So once again, if you have any questions, please raise your hand or put it in the chat box. We will address everybody's questions shortly. Okay? So Dr. A, welcome. Welcome. If you want to give us a quick introduction about yourself,
Thank you.
and about your professional profile, and then we can get started.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, all the participants. Uh, just a quick intro about myself and what drives me. I'm a mechanical engineer, and I've been in consulting for 25 years. Spent 15 years in Japan doing my master's, PhDs, and learning about lean. That was my passion to learn about manufacturing, excellence in manufacturing, and that Japan was the best place to learn that. I worked with Tata Consultancy, Accenture in Japan, Australia. My career started with Unilever, which was in food industry, and again, it's a great organization to really be in the marketplace. So with Unilever, Accenture, and Tata experience in Japan, Bangladesh, India, and Australia, started the work 8 years back, started the company in Toronto, uh, work with the global Fortune 500 companies, I would say mostly in Canada, USA, and Australia, and Japan. And our projects are more transformative in nature, creating a roadmap for future for the organization for any initiatives that they want to do. Usually we work with executives, and the kind of topics that we are going to cover is coming from all aspects, from our customer side, from the talents that we want to work with uh, as an employer, and so from both perspectives, wanted to cover. So my passion is people and process. When technology comes in place, yes, it's a true enabler for making our work better, making our customers work better. But where no, we spend a lot of time is what is the vision, what is the strategy, where do we want to see all the pieces together, people, process, and technology. Where does analytics fit in? Where does the new talent and variety of talents that we have in the market, or even within the organization, how we really bring them together in a cross-functional way, or with the diversity of skills that they bring in, and move them towards the goal. That's what typically we do as consulting, and the kind of the topic that we are addressing today, it's very, very close to my heart. In fact, no, it propped up in a way that in the last couple of weeks we are going through kind of preparation to start or open the business after pandemic and or post-pandemic, you can call. We haven't yet gone through it fully, but there are businesses who are starting up, and so there are a lot of preparation happening, how to start the business. know what kind of preparations required from a safety point of view, from for the hygiene point of view. Also, there has been a lot of talk that over the last 2-3 months, actually, we experienced in a different way, or we worked in a different way to run the organization or to adapt to the changes that were required. So how much of these are going to really continue, or we will probably not revert back to our old way of doing things. Some part of it, some part we will go back, but it will take some time. So in that context, we are also seeing that the job market has been really, really tough, and many companies with the transition or preparing for the future, they're also really taking a relook at their talent, their cost structure, and then taking some tough decisions. So I thought that no, it's a time. The topic is very, very relevant. The business is going to change. The environment is going to change. Whether you are already with a job market, in the job market looking for a job, or whether you are already with a job but you are looking for something different, something new. The topic is going to be common and helpful. That how do we really understand where the market is going, what is the market looking for or needs, and then how do I position myself in that market, and what really drives me. So the my experience has been in three broad areas, and then I will stick to those areas and try to talk. It's kind of establishing a center of excellence that our customers try to make, and then that's where we collaborate with them. And center of excellence can be with the lean center of excellence. Center of excellence could be a project management center of excellence. It could be a supply chain center of excellence. It could be, in general, analytics of performance management center of excellence. In all these themes, when we talk about establishing a center of excellence, all the types of skills that we see, that be it a project manager, be it an analyst, or be it an IT professional, there are roles for them to play in this on this platform. However, the entry point could be different, or the building blocks, understanding what does a center of excellence look like, or what are the pieces that are required to be successful in supply chain, project management, or analytic career, right? So in all these, there are certain topics or building blocks that I found common, and I'm going to share those framework, and then would give some hints that how do you really see your fitment into that. So there is one piece common for supply chain and analytics in general, is that having the ability to the subject matter expertise, that whether it's procurement, whether it's logistics, whether it's manufacturing or operations, how much of the industry knowledge, or as a banking, how much of industry knowledge that we have, or how much problem statement we can articulate by ourselves. So that a person who is entering a supply chain or supply chain analytics, he or she needs to be able to, if they're positioning them in the supply chain person, be able to articulate a particular industry sectors, the key challenges. So as a subject matter, there needs to be certain element of, this is a thought leadership part that I'm talking about on the subject matter side. So be it a supply chain or a project management or an analytics, talking about the specific industry and able to understand or articulate what is that industry problem that we are trying to solve is a key area. So that's one. That's something. The second piece is the technical capability or individual's technical capability, be it in IT, be able to bring in a lot of different technological solutions, be it an integrator, be it a data engineering. So the things that usually you can understand that any industry you go, any domain you want to address, the situation is generally I wouldn't call it situations are generally very, very diverse in nature. You got to address a kind of messy. You have to really collect information, either qualitative or quantitative, and articulate what the problem is. So that process is a messy process, but it is creative. So both from a technology point of view, as well as from a imagination point of view, that how do I really define the scope of the problem and how do we articulate? That's where the technical capabilities really come in, and an individual's data oriented approach, defining the problem, bringing it in, making it more and more interesting is one key skill. So data integration, data engineering, those things are going to be very, very important, whether you are talking about supply chain analytics or it's a project management. Take an example that in project management, there will be multiple suppliers involved, multiple contractors involved. Everybody will be using different IT systems. So ability to bring those data into one coherent manner is one key skills, right? Again, you go to supply chain area, manufacturing or any industries, there will be so many tiers, manufacturer, their suppliers and their suppliers. Everybody will have different, IT systems or different way of capturing information. But when you want to say that I want to have an end-to-end visibility, ability to connect all these different data pieces together is going to be very, very important. So who's going to do that? So that's where data engineering comes in. The third element is that data science or data analytics part, right? Where, okay, with all this data, now that I have so much of data together, how do I get the insights? How do I bring in insights? Now, here the key is with, yes, statistics is a big piece of it, being able to understand or having the skill of a machine learning, artificial intelligence, and all those new methods are going to be very, very key. However, it's very, very important to really see that how do you make the story or build the story interesting, right? And it's the same data, but somebody else, everybody can have a different perspective, right? So um, statistician or data science people, many times they say that, okay, tell me your objective function, tell me your goal, then I will find out from the data. Yes, but the business might say that this is the data I have. You guys go and figure out and tell me that what's the insight in it. So it's it's that's the kind of dialogue that usually we'll see in real world, and ability to add value is what I mean. Okay, this is what I see, and these are the interesting insights I find, and let's talk, right? So that's where the data science person or data analyst will need to really collaborate with IT, where in data engineering, or will need to collaborate with subject matter, be it in supply chain or project management, or ideal situation, the one would say that no, we need everything together, but that needs a focus on the industry, that no one cannot do everything. So that needs to focus on the industry, and then it needs time to, right? There is a career progression. One can learn the data engineering, one can learn in a specific industry, project management, or heavy industrial machinery, or energy sector, or manufacturing. And with experience, people can be able to, will be able to articulate or address those problem statements in much broader and deeper manner. So ability to understand all these three building blocks are going to be very, very important. And one common theme is going to be, how do you communicate? How do you really collaborate with multiple different stakeholders? If it is manufacturing, you'll have manufacturing engineer, you'll have production managers, you'll have designers, engineering team, you will have shop floor people. So ability to ability to communicate with multiple types of people, multiple skill sets is going to be very, very important in a succinct manner. Be communicative both in verbal and written manner. If you are in a project management, ability to really talk to finance people, ability to interact with project management subcontractors, and then all these in a way that will help your problem statement, that will help towards creating path, because analytics is one part in bringing an insight, but the decisions to be taken by the stakeholders, and in this forum, on this career path, the real value will come when you and I can convince the decision maker that that's the decision to be taken, that's the action to be taken. That's why people call it actionable insight, right? If I have done so much of analysis and then at the end I haven't really been able to take any decision or action, that the value is not really created, right? So keeping that in mind and consider how do we really add value in this in this chain of actions, it is going to be very, very important. Now, going back to your starting point, our starting point, if you are coming with a computer science background with data analysis, with deep interest in data, processing data, multiple variables, how do they connect together? You want to see that, okay, what's the correlation? That piece you're very, very interested. Then I would say that yes, focus on that. Articulate that you can define the problem in much broader way, or bring some interesting insights. But the next thing would be that either you really in that role, the challenge is that, okay, get me good quality data. And then your stakeholders or your project team will be worried that how to get you the best quality data, because data quality is a common challenge in the world, right? So your ability to, next step would be your ability to really collect the data and say that, okay, I can pre-process it, I can organize the data in a way that I can show the story, right? So that's one piece, that one value addition that you can do. Or you can say that, okay, I've been thinking about, I'm very interested in this industry, energy, or supply chain industry, or say manufacturing industry, or banking industry. So I can articulate problem statement, and I can see that what data will be more important, so that in general, I don't say that data quality is bad or I don't have enough data. I can also say that what piece of the data is not good, where do we have to work around, and with the data, what kind of problem statements that can be solved or can be addressed, which are not addressed today, or the problems are addressed today, but they can have better answers today, right? So you can go in these two directions. That's where one needs to really watch very, very carefully, that am I a data person? Can I really do that very well? Can I, you need to look at your strength and find out that, how do you really, excel or add value to the organization, or to the problem that you're trying to solve. So it's again common for supply chain, common for project management, common for engineering center of excellence, any center of excellence that you are positioning, or even digital, any type of digital transformation. You will have data engineering part, you will have the data analysis part, and then you'll have the subject matter expert. Now, depending on where you're coming from, what's your background? I'm assuming that most of the people are coming with some level of experience, and so that would be a soul searching, or that would be checking, okay, where do I stand? Do I have some subject matter expertise that can be applicable here, or that would be really valuable for my target audience? Okay. Or do I have some technical expertise that that is based on my really, really passion about solving or playing with the data, or playing with multiple simulation environment and all, that can really give a different flavor in anywhere I go. So finding out that spot is very, very important, to say that, okay, this is how I'm going to this is what I can do today. So having a vision is important for your career path. Very, very important. At the same time, it's very important. What can you do today? And that depends on what you have learned so far, and how do you apply that to a current situation. In order to do that, my recommendation would be that do some research on what's the current market, do some research on what's happening in Canada in the local market on project management. Certification is one thing, right? That gives a check mark. Okay, I can apply there. But don't spend too much time certification and certification unless you know that your target audience is this, right? So you're going after project management or IT project management, or you're going after supply chain analytics, or you're going after, any analytics center of excellence, be it in banking, be it in insurance, or any other industries, right? So understand what's really happening here. I hear that last call, there were people who are in energy industry. So in energy industry in Canada, what's happening, right? Where is the, what's keeping the executives awake in Canada? So ability to understand that market context uh, is very, very important. If someone is really worried about a particular problem, and then if I go there, say, someone is working on it, should I invest on the new project or not? If your target audience is worrying about, should I continue my manufacturing in Canada or not, or how do I ramp up in Canada or not? And there, if you and I, or anybody pitches that, hey, you know what, I can do this analytics, or I can do this project management, they will wonder to do what, right? And so ability to break it down to that level that, okay, I understand that this industry is having these challenges today. Sub industry is having these challenges, and these are the problems that are really people are trying to grapple with. And I have some insight, I have some experience, I can do something today, I can help you. Having that, understanding and being able to authentically articulate that is going to be very, very important. And the reason that I say being authentic is very, very important. This one thing is to get an entry to an organization to be able to do something, but it's much bigger and much broader, is to be able to do something really fulfilling, that your potential employer will see that that real value. It's not how long you're going to continue there, but it's how enriching that experience is going to be for both parties. So being authentic is extremely, extremely important. I'm not saying that don't have that can-do attitude. Do have that can-do attitude, but at the same time, be realistic. Do the necessary homework. Be committed to what you do. And I'll give you an example, right? I mean, there were when I was in Tokyo, there were people in the early stage of the career where it's not sure which direction they're going. And that was in Japan, Nagoya. And the student was, I was mentor for him. And before he was joining Toyota. And after 6 months or 7 months of his work in Toyota, when he came back, I found that he's totally a different person. So he's so passionate, he's so clear in articulation, everything, right? So it's so great. It was great to see. So what happened is, yes, he had all these questions and a drive there, but Toyota gave him that environment, and then he really leveraged those opportunities. Confidence level increased and whatnot. So he was totally a different person 6 months down the line, right? And again, in Canada, there was a recent story that there is a data analyst person starting with data science in various industries, constantly doing one after another degree, certification, etc. We did work together. There were a lot of challenges, in global projects. We're competing with IBM IBM Watsons, etc., etc. And we didn't do really well. But when we talked, very recently, I could see that the person has transformed so much. Constantly the person has been navigating through that. Do I need to be, do I need to add a data engineering skill? Do I need to add another technology skill? So it's a totally different person in 6 months. Is that commitment, is that the authenticity that's really transformed the person, right? And I'm really glad to share those stories that even in difficult situations, there are opportunities to transform, bring in a big difference in the organization, in the marketplace that you're on. In all these areas, there is one common theme, is the thinking process. I really, really urge everyone to really check your own thinking process, be able to bring in clarity. Okay, this is my starting point. That's my goal. Be it a problem statement or be it or the problem solving. What are the steps that I'm going to follow? Make it very very clear. Be able to draw it and then communicate to others, so that it's not that one time you solve a problem, you also want to see that people are able to repeat it, or when you are going to solve that problem the second time, you are better, you are more efficient, you can get it faster. The results that you bring in, it's better than what it was earlier. So ability to really break it down into those processes, and having the clear idea, being able to articulate that very clearly to your audience is going to be very very important. And then you'll be able to develop followers for yourself within your team and then the stakeholders. So that's after you join the company, but that's join the company or in team. But having a visibility or understanding of that will help you to prepare on that path. Right? Do I check yourself? Do you write good emails? Do you write good documents? Right? And many times we see students, right, or people who come to Canada with to pursue a master degree. They generally write one or two pages, one or two papers. But you remember, that's one time team activity. When you are competing in the local market, there are students who are graduating from the local universities, undergrad. They by that time they would have experienced 4 to 5 different companies through their co-op work. So their ability to understand the local industry, local dynamics is probably better. So you need to check that, understand that how much extra homework that you need to do, their ability to write or articulate things that different types of audience will understand, because they have been to 5 different places already. Is going to be different, right? So even though the experience levels are similar, but the entry point, you need to be really cautious on that. What's that you need to really work on. You give a very great presentation, or you have solved a great problem, and then you put a slide together, a couple of slides together to your boss, that, hey, you know what, this is the problem I found, and I did this analysis, and this is what it looked like. This is the insight I find, and what do you think? If that articulation is really great, you know what that person will do? Most likely, that person will circulate it in the organization that, look, this is what such and such person did. It's a great insight. I want you guys to really touch base with him and see how he did it. And can you guys do that again in your organization, in your team, or all this? Versus a different situation where the presentation, the content is really good, but it's not easy to understand. There is no story. So even that person or executive wants to share with the rest of the team, rest of the organization, he will have to spend a lot of time in re-emphasizing or re-articulating what the problem is, what the objective is, or he will have to coach a lot to the person that, no, hey, can you change this and that? So that can reduce the momentum of your story getting flown through the organization. So these are the two situations, the extreme situations they can consider, and you can influence that by writing it very very clearly, either by email, or your slides are very clear, or your process is very clear, so that people can see the value that, yes, this is something interesting, nice, which is also applicable to other areas. And that's where the scalability comes in. That's where the scalability of your value proposition comes in, right? That's how you become better talent in the organization, or valuable talent in the organization, and be authentic about it. So these are the thoughts that now I wanted to share with you all, that since you all come with some experience, good experience to the marketplace, so study the market, see what's your entry point, study, at least have some understanding of the industry context. What industry are you going to get in, or you're targeting, and ability to articulate with that industry problem statement will help you understand, oh, look, this person is not only able to do the data engineering, but also it's he or she will bring in additional value in defining the problem faster for me, or bringing the solution faster for me, the creating the value and then I can scale it up within my organization. So bringing those things together, uh, prepare yourself. Again, in your communication is going to be one common theme, right? Communication skill, communication skill, communication. Doesn't matter how well anybody writes today or be able to articulate. Ability to articulate, and motivate people to do what you do is going to be, a constant challenge, right? Today's leaders' challenge is how do I articulate something in a way that motivates people to, and that is never ending, right? So it's a communication, it's an illusion that I've communicated. That's what people say, right? So focus on that, constantly work on it to be able to present your ideas. This will be really very, very important, not only for your job seeking, but also for your future career, in the market, in the industry. So with that, Mina and audience, everyone, I would stop here and maybe we'll take some questions from you and have some free discussions in the next couple of minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. A. This was so enlightening. I would love to open up to any questions, anything that's going in your mind. I mean, what you just learned about is, again, focus on your marketability, know where you want to go. What is that vision that you're working towards? What are the things that you need? And, be confident to present what you have at this point. Dr. A is a huge celebrity, so I'm not going to I'm not going to answer anything. I'm going to give the floor to you guys. Now's the time when you can unmute yourself and ask any question you may need, you may want to ask with Dr. A. So over to you guys. Anybody has any questions? And if you're unable to unmute yourself and ask questions, you can always put in the chat box. But I would love to engage you guys in a question answer session. So
I can go first, Meena, if that's okay.
Love that. Please.
Hello, Dr. A. How are you? First of all, thank you so much for your insights. The way you explained how we should go towards our goals and with what mindset, it's really amazing. I never heard that like that before. So thank you so much. My question just regarding industry or different type of industry or companies. What are the common objectives that you find are the common ones that a company are constantly looking for those objectives? Like, you have worked in different domains in your life, and what did you find a common objective that most companies are targeting wherever you go?
Are you talking in terms of analytics or data analysis to insights, or it can be very broad, right? Okay, help me out with some specific that you are looking at.
So I'm talking about in a point of view of creating a value for a company.
Okay.
What value is really common that companies are looking to achieve?
Yeah. So thank you for the question. Again, it goes back to the context a lot, right? 10, 15 years back, I'll give you some examples. 10, 15 years back, when industry was facing, in Japan and many countries that, the baby boomer, right? So they were on the verge of losing the expertise, experienced people leaving the job, and then how to retain the knowledge. So that's the time the knowledge-based engineering, knowledge management came in the market 15 odd years back. The time the problem statement or the value proposition with the data or information systems was, how do I really capture the knowledge that's lying with these tangible and intangible knowledge, and then how do I really translate to some assets for the organization? So that's why it started with process creation, workflow creation, procedure creation, algorithm creation, or solving the problem. I will give that same framework to all the things that today happening, right? Today, okay, we can't go there. There is a remote monitoring, that remote control systems that you have to do. You can't, there is limited access to the facilities, or there is limited number of people that are. So all that actually translate to a set of decisions, right? That a process needs to be taken. So what you can think of is that any decision that we take in a day, an enterprise takes, there will be certain decisions which are repeatable, right? People say that it's now 20 to 30% decisions are repeatable, right? I've received an email, I'm putting it, forwarding it, et cetera, right? There are subtle decisions are taken, but they're very repeatable. Then there are certain decisions that you need really an expert to take. So those are typically 10% of our decisions. 10 to 15% of decisions which really needs an expert to review it and take a final call, right? But there is in between the remaining, right? 30 to 40% decisions are you need some guidelines, you need some parameters to know what parameter do I use and all, and that's where all these data science, data analytical approach that identifying the pattern, identifying the trend, identifying the boundaries, identifying problems and sub-problems, and so that you can think, or industry can put their resources that, hey, these problems used to be very unorganized. Now if we see a pattern, now can we put some experts to think about those patterns and create a process, or do and maybe automate that, right? So routine tasks are automated. Any industry you go, no, they need to be automated so that people can do it in a consistent manner. And in the going forward future, even the industries, be it manufacturing or food industry, or any aspects you take, people learn in a hard way that the paper-based processes are not really going to help us anymore, even if they are repetitive process, right? So they are going to take out, right, all those processes that are paper-based. So that's one space across industry. The next one, that the framing the problem, identifying the pattern, that is a little bit more challenging. You need to address it because they're not obvious, right? So yeah, that's where data science approach and different analytical approach are very important to see, okay, how do I really bring in some clarity in what all happening. Otherwise, people are going to wait for a veteran for the rest 70% of the decision, which is not scalable. You don't have the veterans all the time. You don't have the experts, access to experts, be it in manufacturing quality, be it in supply chain, reliability, resilience management, be it in your remote monitoring system for your power plant, or any even the elevators, buildings, infrastructures that we have. Ability to really reach out to the right expert is very limited, right? So that's where the value proposition can work. So you can think of any industry go. If you are in a data or what you call automation or kind of analytics, you can think of that framework that, okay, how much decisions are repetitive, how much are really depending on one, and then what's in between.
Thank you so much for your insights.
Yeah. All right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, first and foremost. I want to thank you for such an enlightening session, and especially when you covered that part of Center of Excellence and how you combine on different projects is something really to learn. I have two questions in my mind. My first question is, how you are integrating the powerful algorithm and machine learning techniques in your day-to-day consulting life as a leader, as a business leader yourself. And secondly, are companies really leveraging the power behind data science? Because most decisions are still, the leaders are taking it on the basis of their experience and it's intuitive. Are they just using the data science story to back their decisions?
Okay. This is a great question. Yes, we do see people are using it varies with different industries. We have been seeing a lot of effort going on in all industries that we have seen. the industrial machinery, manufacturing, and manufacturing specifically in quality, in energy industries, wherever there are heavy equipments, asset intensive, the machines are very costly. It's very, very important to be able to really maintain those asset health, right? In the simplest case, we have our home furnace and all those things. I would be really happy if, wherever we are renting it from, if they had some, monitoring, remote monitoring system, and then be able to really, adjust it and, keep it at the right, level of efficiency and availability without me knowing about it, without me worrying about it, right? So translate that, scale that up with all the infrastructures that are happening or that are there in the country, right, in the world. So there are the complexity of those systems are far more, and you cannot really depend on subject matter experts to really know. I mean, we had examples in power plant made by all the top companies like GE, Siemens, and Mitsubishi's and all that. What they are doing, they're remotely monitoring all the machines and then trying to say that, okay, this is the current health of the organization or current health of the machine, and even going to predict the kind of fatalities or kind of problems that they can have. So asset management is a common topic where everything, and it has been practiced a lot. And IT is, I'm stealing Biju's idea here. We were having a conversation. IT systems are also assets, right? So security, IT. So there are all those assets, IT assets. Now, what are the vulnerabilities do you see? And how do you really predict the system's capability? In finance industry, fraud, identification. There are people in Ottawa who are working on applying machine learning and identifying the patterns and then predicting could that be a fraudulent case and things like that. Yes, people are applying it, but if you go to say small scale manufacturing where 20 people are working or 50 people are working, obviously they're not able to really see the big picture and able to apply that. Because the moment you start, there is people will say that, oh, we don't have the right talent. B is that, okay, there is a huge change management challenges that I still know how my manufacturing or how my facility works. I don't need. So only when there is a generation change or no way of thinking changes, then you can really see that tipping point that, okay, all the small manufacturing companies will, or small companies also will change, right? To that point, I'm very hopeful that all these AI initiatives that are happening in Toronto, when the real value proposition gets bigger and bigger and powerful, all these small companies also will start leveraging that. Today, the answer is only medium to big companies, large size enterprises are applying them in multiple fronts, not just heavy machinery, in their IT systems, in their document management systems, in their emailing systems, everywhere people are really compliance systems, everywhere people are thinking seriously, what can I do better?
Thank you. I did say that we will only block Dr. A for half an hour, but there are two other questions that have come up. So let's address those two questions, and then we can jump into our program orientation, please. And for a detailed session, you know what you have to do.
What is the question? Okay, I should look at the chat here.
I've asked people to ask you the questions directly. So Ashray,
shall I speak now?
Yep. Oh, I can see the SAP ERP.
Okay, Shivranjani,
yes,
go ahead, your question, and then if we can ask then Ashray's question, and then we can go into the orientation.
First of all, thank you so much, Meena, for inviting us and organizing such an informative session. Okay. And Alauddin sir, it's really an honor to be here in part of this meeting and have your awareness about the entire industry in Canada and Toronto. I'm actually new to this entire thing, and I'm currently in India. I was supposed to land in Canada by April, due to this COVID situation and everything. Now that I'm planning for July to land in Canada, and I am doing my chartered accountant's course in one side, and also I'm an MCOM graduate with 6 years of experience in audit and finance. Now that I had some 2-3 months time here in India, I just wanted to shift my career to supply chain, and I've joined the CSCP course from Apex US. So without prior experience in manufacturing or supply chain, and just doing this certification course, how do you think the career opportunities will be there in Canada? I just took the supply chain because I have so much of interest with strategic management, basically, which is one a part in my CA subjects. And also, I feel that I have very strong communication skills that I want to produce, and I want to make use of it and improve my learning curve. So, how do you see this, sir?
Yeah, thank you for your question. You have great experience as chartered accountant audit is a field. I'm curious to know why would you target supply chain as first? No, why not financial industry, or why not no other industries that are where the space for chartered accountant and audit might be the bigger?
I have not completed my CA, sir. I've just completed Inter's one group, and I'm an MCOM graduate with a gold medal. So I was with my husband in Dubai for almost 8 to 10 months, and again I had to come back to India. Again, I had to start my career. Only for 2 years I was in this industry later. So it is a breakage with the 6 years of experience. So now that this course has more advantage, and I feel that it is my cup of tea. I just wanted to shift into supply chain.
Okay. Yeah, well, EPICS is a very good forum, very good course.
Okay.
And at one point of time, all the team members that I used to have, they were mandatory EPIC certification. Even though I didn't go through that, but that's it was too late for me. But I really love EPICS program, and that's a very good start. And I would say that there are EPICS communities in Canada. Which are more educational. Their focus is more educational, not so much on career development and things like that. I would say that I'm really thinking that what to advise you on, but I would say that look at supply chain, a couple of certification if you can get them very quickly, and go for analytics and or supply chain quality management, whatever you find suitable from your current background. So try to leverage your current expertise or experiences into supply chain. The supply chain is a very, very broad term, right? You can have supply chain planning, supply chain, supply chain relation management. You can have supply chain performance management. You can have, quality audit, supply chain quality engineering, and all. So find out which area is interesting for you and where there is more need in Canada. So I would do these two, right? Understand supply chain activities in Canada a little bit more, and then find out your interest, so that you can leverage your 2 years, maybe in total different area, but still you can find out some connections like supply chain quality, supply chain audit, supply chain pre-qualification of suppliers and things like that, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
My name is Simran Chot, and the whole session was great. However, it was more from the technical aspect, and I'm from medical background. It was quite difficult for me to understand. But as you said, you said about the project management. So I just completed my project management from Algonquin. How can I make career in that?
So are you saying you are in medical background means health information?
I did my biotechnology from India, and then I came to Algonquin and I did regulatory affairs, like which is more related to compliance and all those submissions of the.
So exactly, right? So that's a great area that Canada, it makes a lot of sense, right? So health care information systems from a compliance point of view. There's a wide range of things that you can do. So I would really encourage to understand the healthcare information systems here. What are the types of projects they are doing? There are different bodies who run different types of programs in healthcare, and really try to associate yourself with those skills and problem statements so that your skill can be applicable there. So there are definitely a lot of opportunities in healthcare, IT or healthcare information systems here. And it's with COVID, you will see more and more push on that. I would encourage that. There was one more question I saw here on SAP ERP as a new graduate or experience in manufacturing systems.
Ashley, unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yeah.
Hi, Dr. Lee. So firstly, it's always amazing to hear you live, and it was much needed tips and opinions from your side. So my question is, the biggest challenge I'm facing right now is every supply chain jobs are demanding for SAP and ERP experience. So as a new graduate and a little bit of experience in the manufacturing sector, I'm unable to move forward. So what is your take on this?
Are you saying that SAP and ERP, you have, most jobs are asking for this. That's what you're saying. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's right. I mean, I think I saw you in one of our earlier sessions, and you talked about quality is your passion, and yeah. So if you take the manufacturing industry in general in Canada, other than food, the rest are kind of vulnerable, right? Sometimes they're starting, sometimes, so let's be honest on that. Sometimes they're stopping, sometimes they're starting, right? So the common theme for them is that how do I really manage my overall manufacturing supply chain in North America? Okay, in that way, SAP or ERP, planning to those things are going to be a common thing. Okay, so if you are going to really stay focused on manufacturing and in Canada, I would say that something looking for some mid to large size ERP skills will be very, very important. I would say that's something that you could consider investing and learning. At this moment, I would say that your expertise is domain understanding, ability to understand what's the industry, what's the manufacturing quality, etc. Try to work with some organization, service-oriented organization who are offering IT solutions to manufacturing companies. If there are some places there, I feel that your domain expertise or subject matter expertise could be very valuable. So do some scanning if you haven't really done. So there are potential employees directly in manufacturing. There could be some employees for you who are providing services to manufacturing organizations, right? IT services. And usually they always look for people who have good understanding of manufacturing. So if you have a good understanding of manufacturing, if you can articulate very well your skills, communication skills to work with IT professionals, to work with different subject matter experts, to work with executives, that could be an added value. So surf that, right? And that could give you an entry point to some ERP projects. And then I wouldn't say that you start training yourself on SAP right now, but that's the transition that you can look at, right? If you can work with some IT firms who are offering services to manufacturing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Doctor.
Hello, sir. I'm Titiksha. I have a question on my background is in computer science and I have finished education in business analysis. So I'm focusing roles on business analysis, but whenever I come across the position, it asks for experience. So how do I overcome that problem?
If you do not have any experience, and for sure, customer market looks for experiences. I said that Meena and all the other mentors are suggesting go for volunteer, go for some kind of exposure, find out some opportunities where you can do some tangible work and show that as an expertise. Probably there is no shortcut, but you have your computer science background. If you are interested in data science, passionate about data science, find out some projects that you can do, I don't know, voluntarily or as a co-op or intern or anything of that sort, and bring your expertise or harness that opportunity or try to become an analyst, because data science is one piece, bringing the insight and be able to tell a compelling story. So if you can do these two through a project, through intern or something, I think that would be a good approach.
So actually, as a part of my program, I've worked on some integrated case studies with actual clients like Kober and all. So how can I showcase that? Can I show it as my experience?
Yeah, I think as long as you can articulate, if there is some confidentiality agreement, you definitely you need to respect that. But there is no harm in saying that you have some expertise or you have some experience, but you may have to articulate, take out some information from there, or take some approval from them, whatever the case may be, right? But it is an experience that.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, Dr. A, do you mind if I jump in on that question? I would put your project work. Yeah, I would definitely put that on your resume. It is learning, it's experience, it's hands-on experience. And just because it's not directly with an employer, but it's within, like, as an employee-employer contract, but it's experience, and you want to showcase it because this means you don't have zero experience. You have some experience, just not in the traditional concept of paid work employment. So use whatever you have to showcase someone that's looking at you on paper to see, oh, okay, she knows some of this stuff. She's done a little bit of exposure. So if she's junior, she's not totally starting from scratch. So definitely put your project work on your resume if you have limited experience and you're trying to break through and get into a new industry or kind of pivot a little bit your career. Then you can add value, which is project work. Please add it, even if it's through school.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Just to give a little context on what Dr. A was saying, Dr. A, as I'm putting you on spot, the celebrity of the day, Dr. A recently hired 2 of our new grads. And because they were new grads and they didn't have relevant experience, and we're talking specifically on the topic of volunteering, Dr. A did give both of them a project. Right, Dr. A, please feel free to jump in. He gave them both a project to see if they, regardless of the fact they didn't have work experience, if they had the skill to complete the project. And I think there was a little bit of mentoring involved, both from Dr. A and Biju and Sina, where, the guidance was there to complete the project. And Dr. A was impressed looking at the skill set and offered them both roles. So when he's giving you that advice, it's coming from his experience, right? Dr. Alauddin Ahmed is not only a mentor but also an employer, and what he's sharing with you is from his vast international and Canadian experience, both as a manager, as a leader, and as an employer. So that's where the value proposition comes in, when you are looking at yourself and saying, oh, I don't have experience, or I don't have this and I don't have that. The minute you start focusing on what you don't have, that becomes the giant in front of you. The minute you start focusing on what you do have and what you bring to the table, what problems you're able to solve, right from when Dr. Alauddin was saying in the beginning, what can you solve? How do you make a difference? That's what the employer wants to know. Okay. And yes, Tatiksha, you are a part of our June cohort that starts on Tuesday, and we will go through all of these internal and external roadblocks to success and break it down. And then we're going to have another long, proper, detailed session with Dr. Alauddin, and we can ask him these questions again, and maybe, he can tell you what we're missing.
That's great.
Does anybody have
Thank you, Sina.
anything else? Because, you know, okay. We do have a couple of our other mentors. Sorry, Dr. Alauddin, you were
No, I
saying
just
something.
wanted to thank you for organizing this, and it was wonderful, catching up with young folks. In my career, I have always learned a lot from new entrants to the market, be it in Tokyo, be it in Australia, and here as well. So it is very enriching experience for me.
I'm so grateful that you accepted this invite at a very last minute, and I really, really appreciate it. Dr. Alauddin accepted this invitation at like 10:30 last night, and you know, showed up here before me to help you guys, to guide you guys. So I do hope that you were able to get a little more context, a little more belief in what you were looking for, and if there's anything else, you know how to reach him through Destination CEO. No, just kidding. Does anybody have anything else to add? We have Sina and Biju on the line as well. So if anybody has, Sina, Biju, you guys have anything to add to our fantastic show today, please.
No, there's nothing to add to this man's ability to communicate and really kind of get to it. I got to know him probably about a year ago now. We met and we share some things in common. I was in Japan as well. I lived in Nagoya for some time. So then we started talking, and I mean, we got to a different place, I think, in our own conversation. We were talking over this week as well. Always inspiring, well thought, lots of good insight. So I'm glad that everybody's being exposed to people like this as part of the cohort and as part of the mentor group that we have. It's fantastic. I have nothing more to say except that it's awesome what you spoke about today.
Thank you, Biju.
Thank you, Biju. Thank you. Sina, did you want to say anything?
Well, I will kind of echo what Biju said. I think, you know, the great thing here about what we do is that we're not just a team of HR people that'll tell you how to do an ATS resume. Because for me, more importantly, it's not just getting the job, it's keeping the job. It's acclimatizing to the Canadian market, the company's culture, and being able to be successful so you can grow your career, like I want all of my candidates to do. And so when we have the opportunity to learn from our business leaders that are, you know, the mentors in the group, this is a unique scenario. You really get to talk to somebody who, you know, knows your industry or is, you know, overcame a lot of roadblocks or knows different cultures and has worked in different companies and countries, sorry. This isn't something you see all the time. And, you know, for us mentors, we learn from each other. We learn from you guys. And I think that's the biggest part of why this works so well is because we're leaning on each other and we're all getting better because we have something all to share. So it's really a great, unique opportunity to really be able to get an hour or two from a business leader on a Sunday afternoon. You don't always have that. So I hope you really appreciate the opportunity and you're not shy and you do ask the questions. And it's so much easier to just ask it instead of text it or email it or you know, send a message on LinkedIn. Like this is someone that could be sitting across the table from you at Starbucks. So, you know, lots of great opportunities. So thank you for sharing your time and expertise such a minute with this group to help them get through COVID and get employed and then remember that they have a lot to offer, whether it's project work or volunteering or international experience, everything adds value.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you, mentors, and thank you to everybody that spent the Sunday afternoon with us. Now, for those of you that are interested in joining our program, which starts on Tuesday, please note that this is the last day, literally, to sign up for the special pricing. The pricing does go up on Tuesday, June 2nd. So for those of you that would like more information, please stay back. For those of you that need to leave, thank you very much. Wish you all a wonderful start of this beautiful week. And don't forget, Mondays with Meena. Tomorrow, I have this amazing session with Dean Delpiche, and we're going to be talking about discrimination. We're going to be talking about diversity. We're going to be talking about a lot of things that, are way above just lack of Canadian experience. So welcome you to join us tomorrow. We will be on LinkedIn Live and on YouTube Live at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you. And for those of you that need to go, thank you again.
Thank you.
And for those of you that need to learn about the program, please stay back. So thank you, Dr. A. Thank you.
Okay. Have a great afternoon. Okay.
You too. Thanks. Take care. Bye. Thank you, Biju and Sina. All right. So some of you actually attended yesterday's orientation session. And you're here today. So I'm assuming you probably have some questions. Do you want to start with the questions? And then I can jump into the orientation so that I can let you guys go. Simranjot?
No, ma'am, I don't have any questions. I was clear yesterday, so
Awesome.
I will do my payment by tomorrow. Is that okay?
Oh, that's fine. Send me a LinkedIn message and let me know that you are you're joining us, and I'll send you the agreement so you can go through the details. Right?
No, ma'am. Okay, and I have to leave now.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
sweetheart,
sir.
for joining. Take care.
You too. Thank you.
Bye. Salil, you are you staying back?
Yes, Meena, I'd like to stay back.
Okay, awesome. All right, Joel, are you staying for this? All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 people here. All right. So let me jump into the orientation very quickly, and then you guys can ask me questions. Now, history of Destination CEO. Almost everybody knows. I'm not going to get into that, but I know that most of you have been emailing me and wanting to know more about the price structure and what is the workflow. So let's get you started. And if you guys have any questions, just unmute yourself and ask. I won't be able to, whilst I'm screen sharing, I won't be able to see your chat. So feel free to just unmute yourself. All right. So the history of Destination CEO, everybody knows. Some of the pictures of what we've done so far before COVID, and then during COVID, you have many of you have attended numerous of our classes, and if not, and you want to see some of our recorded session, you know where to find it. It's on YouTube. Your team of advocates, you met with some of them today, met with some of them yesterday. You've attended our events. You've met with all of them by now. If you haven't attended our event, well, watch the recorded version, or we may have one sooner. All right, so to understand the workflow, the first and the most important thing is to understand what the program's all about, and to get registered. So to understand the program, of course, it's going through this orientation session and understanding the workflow and what's involved. To give you an idea of what next week is going to look like, on Tuesday, you have a session with me. So we had our first session yesterday, which was open to everybody. I hope that you attended. And if you did not attend, we have the recorded version of it online. Now, moving forward, on Tuesday, you're going to have a 2-3 hour session with me. And we're going to go through some of the internal and external roadblocks to your success. We are going to create SMART goals, and we are going to create an action plan. Then you are going to learn about all of those things. You can go back. On Wednesday, there's an optional class, which all of you are invited. It is all of Destination CEO participants will be invited to. And that is a focus on interview skills by a humble professor including myself, another humble professor who is a HR certified leader. Again, that's an optional class, and that's only for Destination CEO participants. And then on Thursday, you're going to have your second class with me, where we are going to look at your action items, your action plan, and create a career map for you and create your elevator pitch, your credible introduction. Moving forward, on Saturday, we will have a very special class with, once again, our masterclass on LinkedIn profiles. And we are then, the following week, you are going to get to meet with all of your mentors. So as soon as you sign up and you've done the registration, the payment, the agreement, you will get engaged with our WhatsApp group of graduates and active participants. You will also get engaged with all of the mentors through our private LinkedIn group, which is only for this particular program. Then you have the access to going through all of their profiles and picking up the mentors of your choice and reaching out to them for your one-on-ones. So week 1 is about learning. Week 2 is about practice, getting all of the job search tools that you've learned in week 1, reviewed by the mentors, get feedback, and then start applying for positions. So you're going to start applying for positions in week 2, because we want to be ready for that. And then you're going to, whatever struggles you have, it's going to be week 3 about question and answers, implement and engage, re-strategize, success, retention, all of that. So there's a lot of stuff that we'll be doing. Our classes our mentor classes are on Saturdays, every single Saturday, till the time that you are in the program from 12 to 2. Our weekday classes, we usually determine the time and the date because we have international students. It is usually either 11 to 1 or 12 to 2. 12 to 2 seems to be the best time for almost everybody across the globe so far. So that's what we've chosen. We do our sessions with me on either a Tuesday or a Thursday. Then you have other sessions like today, for example. Today was a surprise preview session. So you're constantly engaged. You're constantly working with me, the mentors, coaches, stuff. What's your admission? What's the requirement to get involved? Firstly, you must be eligible to work in Canada. Now, this is for people that are in Canada or planning to come to Canada in the next 6 months. However, this program is an international program, is help people worldwide. So you can still use the same skills to look for a job in regardless which country you are. You must, if you're not in Canada and you're not planning to be in Canada in the next 6 months, but you've been in Canada and you've been working for over 5 years, then it's a different conversation we need to have, because there is a little customized version that will be created for you. You must attend, all applicants must attend the information session to understand what the program's all about, complete the paperwork, complete the online payment. Most important is commit to participating 100% in this challenge. What else is required of you besides the commitment and completion of your assignment in a timely fassion? There is a systematic job search. I'm one person who does not believe that job search is a full-time job. It is a very focused and structured job, which requires focus 2 hours a day. So your commitment is going to be 2 hours a day for job search every single day, weekday, and then weekends, you're spending the Saturday afternoon with the mentors. So you're all prepped and ready. Positive attitude. Yes, you're going to meet with a lot of naysayers. You're going to meet with a lot of people that, question, your choices. Well, you need to be away from them or at least if you hear them, don't listen to them. Because if you join a program thinking you're going to fail, or you're not going to get what you want, or you know people who are much smarter than you, much more experienced than you, and they're struggling, well, if you're coming with a negative attitude, that's going to affect your delivery as well. So it's very important to be positive. And the minute you start feeling negative, you know what to do. You're part of Destination CEO. You have a support group. You reach out. You reach out to me. You reach out to your mentors. Patience. Effective job search is a process that requires time. So you need to be patient. It's not that you're going to join the program and tomorrow you're going to have a job. That's happened, by the way. We've had people who joined the program one day and the very next day they start interviewing, or they start seeing some of a ripple effect. But that because they're also very visible and things change, right? So that also has happened multiple times. Teamwork, you're a part of a group, you're part of a team. So you need to know that we're all in it together. Whatever it is that you're feeling, you need to share. We have a team in place to support you. You're part of a family as soon as you join in. You need to have an open mind, open to constructive feedback, constructive suggestions. Remember, we've got at least 30 mentors. We have different levels of mentors. We've got mentors that are part of this group, just this program. We have mentors that are part of the bigger Destination CEO group, which are in thousands. And then we have champions. We have champions that we engage that come in for a particular reason, in case we have a specific cohort that requires that has, for example, a bunch of people that are in the banking industry. Then we're going to bring in champions from the banking industry to get engaged. We also have guest speakers, depending on the topic, depending on the need, depending on where we are. We bring in guest speakers to also speak with you and bring to you the different optics in the marketplace. We do have 3 packages. One is a bronze package. It's a 3-week limited package, and this is more of a template-based package where you get access to 3 weeks of classes, 3 weeks of, you get all the templates, and you get the you get an opportunity to have a 90-minute session with me. You get an opportunity to have a 1-hour session with a mentor of your choice. Then we have the silver package. This is by far my most favorite. This package was $700 just before COVID, and we have slashed the prices down to $297. You get everything that's in the bronze package, but it is a 5-week package. And you also get resume, LinkedIn, mentor feedback. So where in bronze you get 1 mentor feedback, here you actually get the opportunity to engage with a minimum of 3 mentors. You get 3 mentor for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you get different views. Now, remember what Dr. Alauddin was saying, that you're an expert in your fields. You need a connection in your field, but what you really need is to understand how HR thinks, how sales thinks, how hiring manager thinks from different aspects. Because just like how I have thousands of connections and they are in so many different fields, so do our mentors. So you need to be able to have those different views, and that's why the silver package is a really strong package. Then you also have coaching sessions with your career mentor. So you interview or you get the feedback from 3 mentors and you pick a mentor of your choice, right? And this mentor becomes your career mentor, and you can spend 150 minutes with them. You can divide it over a period of 5 weeks. You can have, the first 60 minutes in the first week and then break it down into further. So the choice is yours, right? And they're there from the day you start to the day you finish at the end of 5 weeks. And, you never know, depends on how you keep the relationship. Like I'm connected with my mentors from 20 years ago, right? LinkedIn Spotlight. So this is a special program. I've been talking about it for a while, waiting for the June cohort to start, because this is where I bring you and interview you on LinkedIn Live, on YouTube Live, and we create a video resume for you. We tag employers of your choice. We tag professionals of your choice to join us in that session and ask you questions. And I interview you as if you're being interviewed for the job, give you an opportunity to put your value proposition out on this space. And of course, our enhanced package is gold, which is at $397 only for the next 48 hours. It increases. Yes, my friends, it increases to $500 next week. It is, you get everything from the bronze and from silver, but you also get 115 minutes of coaching session with me. You get 240 minutes of coaching session with your career mentor. You also get, flexibility of reaching out to more than 3 mentors for help. And if by week 5 you don't achieve the the success, or you're still struggling, or you're not meeting your milestones, then we bring in a performance coach specifically for you, and this becomes a very enhanced program just for you. All of our packages include introductions to free community resources. You probably know community resources already, but if you don't know, we are affiliated and connected with most of the nonprofit organizations and other groups that are doing similar and focused support and mentoring. Destination CEO's employer network, as I said, I have been building this network for over 20 years, and this network is really a huge value proposition. If not every company, I know someone in quite a few companies, and those people would know someone in companies of your choice. You also get access to 30 Canadian mentors who are a part of this particular program, the Career Accelerator program, that will support you during your journey. And they are, recruiters, employers, entrepreneurs, hiring managers, you name it, coaches, right? And then again, of course, our family of job seekers together. So as fast as I could go, I see we have 3 people over here. Anybody has any questions? I know, Shelly, you had quite a few questions for me. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to share.
Hi, Meena.
Hi, who's this? Shelly? Okay. Hi.
So, yeah, I did ask few questions, and I'm again going to ask those here. So, the 85% you said was out of how many participants? I was just wondering about that.
Our cohort is usually 10 participants.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Right.
So out of 10 participants. Okay. And also, what is the schedule for the silver package?
As I said, all of our schedules are exactly the same. It's just a time frame. So
Yeah, what's the time frame? Yeah.
So if you take the silver package, that's a 5-week time frame, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every weekend, every Saturday, 12 to 2, you have a mentor class. All right. So a mentor comes in and and teaches a specific class.
Mm-hmm.
For our June cohort, I just explained to you, it's going to be Tuesday from 12 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday is the optional class, and that is from 2:30 to 4. Thursday is 12 to 2, and then come back to Saturday again, which is 12 to 2. So 12 to 2 seems to be the most favorite time frame, which works for literally everybody across the globe.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Again, one more question. So I am a product designer, and I'm focusing on that to sort of look for the job opportunities and get. So the feedback sessions are very important, I believe, and it definitely plays a big role. So I do have a resume and portfolio. So would I be able to share those, and would I be able to get the feedbacks on those?
That's why you have mentors, right? That's
Including
why
the
you have,
portfolio, right?
yeah, that's why you have mentors.
Cool. Yeah.
So you get industry feedback. You're not just getting a coach's feedback. You're
Mm-hmm.
getting industry feedback.
Perfect. Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Okay. That's it?
Uh, yeah, I think so for me. Um, that's what I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shivaranjani.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
yeah,
can't
Meena.
pronounce.
No problem. My name is Shivaranjani.
Shivaranjani. Thank you.
Yeah. Meena, when we were speaking to Alauddin sir, he was just telling me that shifting my job from finance to direct supply chain might not work or might work, depending upon the other certifications that I take. So since it was an ongoing session, I didn't want to get detailed into that. So what is the bronze package that you have so that I can connect? And I'm now a bit confused about taking this Apex course, even though I have experience in finance and audit.
Do you have a webcam?
Yeah,
Put it on. Let me see your face.
yeah. So the thing
And
is that
Shelly, I know you're going? You're staying?
I'm just thinking, if do I have more questions or like?
Take it. You think about more questions. Let me
Okay.
talk to Shivranjani. I like to, talk face to face, and this is, I'm getting used to it.
Okay.
uh, no,
And it doesn't matter what you're wearing or how you look, Shivranjani.
no, no,
You
no,
know.
no, that's not a thing. I just want to.
Ah, there you are, looking lovely in yellow.
Thank you so much.
So you're in India. Which part of India are you?
I'm from Chennai.
Ah, very nice. The smartest people are from Chennai.
Ah,
So I
but
hear. So I hear. I'm Telangana. So
oh, okay. I never
yeah,
expected that. Okay.
I'm born in Hyderabad, girl. All
Okay.
right. So what seems to be the problem? Sorry, I was having some. I don't know if you noticed, but right in the beginning, there was somebody that was being very rude and kept interrupting. And I wasn't sure if that was a hacker or not, because yesterday we had a situation like that. And we're like, okay, I have to get rid of that person. So
Okay.
I kind of missed out because I was working on the settings. But so
Okay.
what's your situation? Tell me.
No, the thing with me is that I told you, right? I'm basically into finance and audit for
Okay.
the past 6 years, and being an MCOM graduate, I didn't know that how my situation is going to be in Canada. So I thought that if a certification with a license will have a better value in Canada, I would choose supply chain. I wanted to do CPA in Canada, but I heard that it's going to take around 2 years to complete.
Okay,
So
one
just
second.
for the
One second. One second. First, very important, going back to originally what uh, Dr. A said, right?
yeah,
What do you want to do? Forget about all of everything else. What does your heart want to do? What's your
I want to
passion?
get into supply chain for sure because I like
Okay.
communicating with people and I feel that I have a good persuading capacity.
What does supply chain mean to you? Supply chain means a lot of stuff to different people. So, what does supply chain mean to you? What are
It's
the duties that you want to do? Explain to me that.
I'm going through these classes in supply chain. Okay, I basically like planning the entire process, and if there is going to be some leakage in the plan, I would like to get it better. And those make or buy decisions and all I have already done in my CA. So basically, my understanding about supply chain is very very vague, as I know what supply chain is and I don't have experience.
Let's put that supply
Okay.
chain word out of sight. Okay.
Okay.
Talk
Okay.
to me about the duties that you want to perform.
Maybe I would do better in inventory management, and I
Going
would
back into duties. Okay. So, inventory management in terms of technical inventory management, or you
yes,
actually physically?
speaking to the suppliers, procuring the raw materials, and seeing to that the materials are getting placed in time and the production is going on at the right time and the products are delivered to the customer. I like speaking or solving the issues that are happening in the entire process. I like doing that. I want to analyze the situation I want to give the best that I can give in the situation and the decision that's going to improve the organization.
Okay,
I
now
don't want to focus on finance.
Okay.
You know?
Why are we talking about it then? Just leave it. Okay. So you said inventory management, right?
Yeah.
Now, for inventory management, what are the transferable skills you have?
As of now, nothing, because
what is the system that is involved? It's a SAP or an ERP system, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. How easy is it to learn it?
For me, I'm quick in grasping things. So for me, if I'm going to get a good program, I can definitely learn it.
And right now, because of COVID, everybody's offering free or offering much cheaper the certification, right?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, when it comes to transferable skills, you've got great communication skills. So you can be client facing, you can connect, right?
Yes, definitely.
They want to know your critical thinking, right? Your research skills.
Yes.
Right? In your field, you have that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? The next thing is the technical skills, right? So technical skills, easy for you to, whilst you're stuck in India, easy for you to pick up, right? Because I don't care if you have an SAP degree, SAP certificate. What I care about is, do you have experience using the system?
Right.
Right? Because my system is going to be unique. Yes, it has the shell of SAP, right? But it's going to be unique to my manufacturing outlet. Right?
Okay.
Salesforce is another one, right?
Yeah.
What was that? SharePoint is another one. So as far as you know the basics of the system, right? You can manage, you understand how to work on a system, then you can use those transferable skills into learning. I am not going to put you in $1 million database unless I know you can handle it.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
Right. So transferable skills you have, what you need to grow is your understanding of the Canadian workplace, right?
Okay.
It's like the lay of the land, right?
I get it.
How do you get that? By talking to different manufacturing companies.
Yes.
How do you do that? By talking to people whose shoes you want to walk in, to say, I'm stuck in India because of COVID. I'll be landing there. I aspire to work under this. What are some of the systems you use? What do you feel are some of the technologies you use? Right?
Okay.
So that's how you need to focus. The thing I talked about, that in the first class that we have on Tuesday, we're going to talk about what are the internal blocks and what are the external blocks. So in this case, your internal block is just the lack of confidence. That's it, right?
Yeah.
External block, on the other hand, is understanding the system and understanding the workplace, right?
Okay.
So once you start having those conversations, right, with people, you will start getting answers, and you'll start getting different answers. But as you start getting those answers, the other thing that you're doing is you're building your relevant network in the industry over here.
Yes.
They're getting to know your passion. They're getting to know your work ethics. They're getting to understand your value proposition.
Okay.
Right? But the minute you say, I am confused, I have this background, I want to transition, you're just losing the entire battle.
Okay.
Because the answer is going to be, well, if you have experience in that, right, because of COVID, why don't you just fix it with that? And when things get better, you move to this. Right?
Okay.
So it's how you structure your question. Right. The other thing that I would suggest you, like I said, the bronze package, feel free to take it. It's not an issue. Bronze package is limited to 3 weeks, and you get one session with me and one session with a mentor. With the silver package, at least you have multiple sessions, right? You have a longer time, right? And it's going up next week. I don't have the price right now because the board is going to announce it on Monday night. So the board is going to announce it Monday night. I don't have the price structure right now. I know it'll increase. I do not do how much because they're keeping in mind of the COVID situation. And also that our overheads have, it's a social enterprise. We're all volunteers. There are only 2 paid employees who have taken a 70% pay cut due to COVID. But we still need to pay them, right? Right now it's going from my pocket. Right? So think about it, okay? But regardless of whatever you decide, the minute you say you're confused, people take on that confusion, right? The minute you discredit yourself, the minute you talk about what you don't have, that's what people take on, what you don't have. So you need to be confident when you're talking about yourself. You need to be confident about what you want to do.
The only thing that I was thinking is that I don't have experience in supply chain. But I'm going to get a certification in supply chain. And after Alauddin sir said that since you have 6 years, that's good experience in finance, now only that's when I was like, okay, fine. So should I again go for CPA or this is better? Look, so that's why I wanted to speak to you about that.
One of my best friends, we've been friends since we were kids. Okay. She works for RBC and she works in a senior admin capacity with directly the Treasury Department, right? This is where it's called corporate strategy. And this is where all the decisions are made for the banking world. Okay. Her passion is accounting. She's an admin capacity, like an executive admin, right? So not the salary, she makes a 6-figure, but her passion is accounting. So the fact that she's not an accountant, she's done her CGA, CPA, now she's doing her CMA or CFA. I don't know. So many C's are attached, but I know that like she has all of these certifications and I keep telling her, I'm like, why are you getting all of this when you don't even want to, when you're not going to work in that industry? And she's like, because I love it. I love it so much. I want to do it. But yeah, I'm not going to leave my 6-figure salary to take a $35,000, $40,000 job, right? Because that's when that's how the accounting professionals start. The salaries are pretty low.
Yes.
Right. So again, even in the banking industry where she's a part of RBC, which is the Royal Bank of Canada, one of the biggest banks in Canada, right? The accounting people, the CGA people, CFA people, whatever that thing is. No, I think it's CGA and then CPA.
CPA is there. Yeah.
Right? So something like that, right?
Yeah.
They start at 35 or 45.
I heard that.
Right? So if the salary is so low, why you box yourself in that? Right?
That's why I wanted to shift.
When you ask advice from somebody, they're going to give advice from their experience.
Right.
What you need to ask is, this is what I want to do. Now tell me, what should I do? Not, this is what I've done. This is what I...
All right, I get that.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's, do you have any questions about the program? What are you thinking now?
I'll just think it twice and I'll try to join the silver package itself. So that it will also help me build in my career.
And what you
I'll be doing the course.
What you can do, because you don't know when you're coming here yet, right?
Yes.
What you can do is that you sign up for silver, because right now the price is low, right?
Okay.
Because if you take bronze right now, for example, the upgrade would, if you wanted to upgrade after 3 weeks, right? You will have to pay the new price. But if you take silver right now, right, you will, you can do 3 weeks. You can still be connected, right? And utilize the second,
remaining 2 weeks.
the last 2 weeks after you land here. Because remember, when you land over here, you're going to need some time to acclimatize yourself, right? You're going to need some time to settle down, right? You'll find your house, you'll find, you know, the commute, your OHIP, your health card, your SIN number, all of those things. So you're going to need time to settle down. So, right, once you have